Hello and welcome, everyone. Once again, we are back with a Wednesday Touhou project with Dr. Nyri Bakkalian. If you would like to introduce yourself.
Oh, here we are again. I'm glad to be here for yet another week to discuss the Japanese history and culture in the Touhou series and to help elevate your appreciation of the of this complexity in these otherwise very high tempo bullet hell games. Hello, Zoe. In the frozen wastes of North Tsushima, Lord Date, is that you? One day I will stream Ghost of Tsushima, and I will probably have an aneurysm along the way,
Oh,
given what I've seen. But that's neither there nor here. We're here to talk about Toho. So, yes, it's good to be here. It's been a little bit of a difficult week. I have had to cancel some of my streams because matters of great personal urgency have come up, but thankfully I have had the time and space to be able to once again be here with the wonderful Who This Slime. Also,
well,
I note that you have a very fetching hat today.
that's true. The reason for that is I just hit 200 followers on Twitch.
Goodness sakes! Congratulations! Well done!
Last time we celebrated that by doing Beyond Citadel, and I was
Mm,
very, very proud of my community for being mature and for following all of the rules that I had set out for that.
good.
And this time I've got to figure out what we do next, honestly. I think I want to do Irisu Syndrome, but once again, that is a game that I want to have some kind of special approach to. It only feels right to highlight that particular Katatema game with a special sort of reverence and a special sort of acknowledgement of the unique things that that game did, which seem honestly a little trite at this point, but suffice to say, the reason it seems trite is because it was the first one to do all those things. In any case, though, once again, today we are going to be playing 17th Touhou Project, as you can see in the background there from the jewel case art. Wily Beast and Weakest Creature, shooting game for Windows. This one is going to return a bit to the mechanics of Undefined Fantastic Object, in that there are going to be objects that will cycle between 3 colors and states, and being close to them will prevent them from cycling, and if you collect a combo of all of them, you will enter a special mode. While with UFO, it would spawn a UFO that you would need to shoot down, this one is just a straight power-up for yourself, and also a damage protection field. So we will get more into that as we get into the menu phase of this. So let's get right into that, shall we? Okay. Audio should be pretty balanced. As before, the storyline is available in the manual this time. Saino Kawara, the riverbed limbo, a wasteland with only stones and stones. Spirits of young dead children are piling stones as their job. It's definitely not a comfortable place to stay. Reimu, if this is the only path to hell, then sure. The animal spirit accompanied with Reimu has not said anything. Hello? Can you at least say hi? The animal spirit possessed Reimu, but they never said anything after that. Fine. We'll know what's going on once we get in hell anyway. Crossing the Sanzu River, more and more animal spirits are coming from the world beyond. The animal spirit who possessed Reimu was originally born in Gensokyo, a traitor to the animal spirits from hell. Their goal is to help Reimu stop hell animal spirits' invasion. We don't know if the spirit is telling the truth, but animal spirits are indeed attacking Gensokyo. As a result, Reimu chose to go to hell with the aid of the animal spirit. And then,
Boy, we're going right to Sino Kawara, I see. In the Western ethos, that would be the equivalent of going to the banks of the River Styx.
So as you can see, there's animal spirit items and fish spirit items, and if you get 3 or more of the same animal spirit, you will get depending on the type of spirit you picked, you will get a significant boost to a type of attack. Red, Wolf, is forward focus boost. Purple Eagle is spread shot boost. And Green Otter is bomb boost. Although, since you're going to be picking an affinity, you will almost certainly always aim for one specific type. And the other ones will only come up as a sort of desperation play. But yes, collecting 5 of any item will allow you to enter Roaring mode, which will allow you to have increased damage and a stealth barrier that will prevent you from taking lethal damage. And then, if you successfully run out the timer on it, you will get a little bonus for not using the death barrier. And Berserk Roaring mode is, like I mentioned, if you manage to get triplicate of a specific spirit. And then there's also fish spirit items, which are your one-ups and bomb pieces along with power endpoints. And those also take up sockets for the animal spirit. Working with your animal spirit gets you longer duration for it, whichever one you've chosen, and let's see here. Not shooting while in roaring mode will allow you to maintain it for longer. Oh yes. No extra lives from points at all. If you're going for a survival run, points do not matter in any capacity. Play it safe. Rank select. Lamb level, easy mode. A difficulty level where everyone will treat you kindly. Aww. Shiba level, a difficulty level that bites you if you don't take it seriously. Saber-tooth tiger level, hard mode. A hard to survive difficulty level. Dinosaur level, lunatic mode. You can't win. No way. Hey Conley, just discussing the basics of the gameplay mechanics for this one and a little bit of side chat on other games and topics. 3 characters in this one, and each of them has 3 different primary animal spirit, which determines the effects of roaring mode, as I mentioned. Wonderful Shrine Maiden of Paradise, Reimu Hakurei. Unfocused Shot, Homing Amulet, Focus Shot, Persuasion Needle. And then Fantasy Seal, which is the same spheres thing as before. As it always is, rather. These spirits began to invade from hell en masse. They're trying to take over the surface world with brute force and sheer numbers. I beg of you, venture into hell with me and put a stop to their plans. So she was told by a beast spirit that was cooperative with humans. Excruciatingly ordinary magician, Marisa Kirisame. Unfocused Shot, Illusion Laser. Focus Shot, Magic Missile. Spell card, Love Sign, Master Spark. Beast spirits began to invade from hell en masse. They seem to be attempting to take over the surface world with brute force. You've entered into hell to get the drop on them first, along with a beast spirit that seemed to know what was going on. Half-human, half-phantom, dual-wielding swordswoman, Yomu Kanpaku. Unfocused Shot, Sword Key. Focus Shot, Lotus Stance Slash. Spell card, Voidness Sword, Slash Carrot, clearing the 6 senses. These spirits began to invade from hell en masse. Filled with greed, they planned to devour every last body on the surface world, both physical and spiritual alike. With their ability to cut ghosts, the likes of beast spirits are nothing to fear. As is frequent, I believe that Yomu's sort of gimmick is that she doesn't attack at all while in focus mode, but release in focus mode will do an extremely strong slash sort of thing. I think that's right. I have not actually tried her for this game. In any case, though, I think what we are going to be doing is Reimu and... You know what? Nyri. Wolf or Eagle?
Lately I think I'm indisposed against wolves. Let's go for the eagle. After all, I am from Philadelphia.
Eagles, baby! Unfocused.
Philadelphia, the city where they grease the light poles on Broad Street, even if the Eagles win.
Unfocused shot becomes hyper-powerful. Eagle mode timer is extended. Personality becomes haughty. Wolf spirit, personality becomes barbaric. Otter spirit, personality becomes wishy-washy. Interesting. So dialogue changes, presumably. With all that out of the way, it's time to begin. One last thing. Look at Reimu there. Remember how I mentioned that it's like a running joke at this point that the size of her purification rod gets bigger and bigger each game? Look at it. It's as tall as she is now. Heck, the paper bit of it is almost as tall as she is too. Anyway, let's go. So just like with UFO, those will be swapping types. Saino Kawara, Stage 1, Riverbed of Limbo. Innumerable regrets. And one more line of dialogue I couldn't read.
Right from the start here, we have the, I forget the name for these, but they're wooden stakes on which you would write funerary sutras in Siddham script, in Sanskrit, and they would be sort of thrust into the ground around a grave. So this is trying to underline the aura of spookiness.
We've also got a bunch of pinwheels. Anyways, this is roaring mode with an eagle focus.
The underworld is in the Japanese tradition. Is this interesting place where you're going, you go to the riverbank and there's the old hag of Shulzaka who strips the dead of their clothing. They all get put onto boats. They go across the River Sanzu, and then they appear before the court of Lord Enma, who is the king of the underworld. And if we're at Sai no Kawara, I imagine we're going to be seeing Lord Enma before terribly long.
Nice feature of this game. Unlike UFO, the pickups last a lot longer on the screen. Like, the niche mechanic says, like, really long in that wording exactly. In addition, during dialogue, you can wait for any existing beast spirit pickups to swap over to whichever type you need. So I intentionally delayed a bit in order to get triple eagle there, as you can see in the lower left. Yep, there's beast spirits all over the place, but I've got no time to waste floundering around in some place like this. Hey, you there. Stillborn idol of the riverbed, Aika Ebisu. All the stones we were stacking fell over because you were thrashing around. What's that? You dare blame me? It's your fault for stacking pebbles on the riverside of all places. You... How dare you mock the art of stone stacking? Unforgivable, die! Jesus, Reimu. Anything to say?
Sign Stone Woods.
Anything to say about stone stacking in particular?
Well, this gets into some very heavy topics. I have a feeling we're going to be seeing something of Jizo-sama before terribly long. Stone Buddhist deity with a red bib or a red hat. This is all tied up in the sorry. This is all tied up in the observances surrounding stillbirth in particular. And how did people articulate their grief around that, around losing a child, right? And stacking of stones, of course, not a uniquely Japanese thing. This is the different cultures have this.
Cairns
You
is
make a cairn.
yeah, cairns is one term for them.
The this is necessarily, once again, we're in the syncretism episode. This is necessarily a Buddhist concept, but Shinto, likewise, in its own funerary rites, has similar things, and it influences even like the Japanese term that's used for a specifically Shinto grave. Because in Buddhism, you just the generic term, right, is haka, but the specifically Shinto term for a grave is okutsuki, and that's hard to translate, but it's like the cavern, the protected place where you're sort of stacking stones around the dead to keep them from the elements. So it's interesting to me that right from the get-go, boy howdy, we're going right into heavy stuff.
And this character was listed as goddess for the stillborn or representative for, something like that. And hey, once again, we're getting spell cards that relate to the visuals here of she is throwing down circular danmaku that reach the bottom and then form vertical lines made out of circles to represent stone cairns.
Stone sign Children's Limbo. And there we are. See?
So strong. I didn't notice this until it was pointed out elsewhere, but if you look at her, not pauldron, but like the shoulder decoration, her visuals are supposed to represent jellyfish.
Hang on. Do you see the, well, if you pause, we can't actually see her design. I feel like she's a representation of Jizo-sama, because look at the earlobes. That's a hallmark of Buddhist statuary. Also, the red sort of rickrack around the edges of the dress that looks very similar to the edges of the bibs that are made for Jizo-sama by grieving parents. So I'm wondering if this is actually supposed to be a representation of Jizo-sama.
Anyways, we destroyed all the stone cairns and then followed up by telling her, you should be thankful that we got rid of all those bee spirits for you. Now you can stack stones in peace. Sanzu River, a baby carved from granite across the Styx.
Oh boy. This is another one of the bits where I had a feeling I knew where it was going. Or where it was going to be going, and here we are. So a baby carved from granite. I'm guessing this is going to involve Ubume. Not Uzume. Ubume.
Ubume. Okay.
Who is the yokai who, TLDR, she'll say, look at my baby, and she'll hand you her baby, and you'll look at the baby, and it's like stone wrapped in leaves.
A little bit hard to see right now, but...
Sama of the Ubume.
Cow! Secret cow spirit, Dane.
I mean, given that we're in hell, that's probably an Ushioni.
Ushi Oni. So, cow Oni? Or...
Yeah. Yeah. But not really directly like a regular Oni, but it's sort of like... It comes in different shapes. Sometimes you see it represented as like, what if an enormous spider had the head of a cow?
Eek.
And was really mean. Yeah!
It's taking me forever to reach the other side. I never thought I'd see a flesh and blood human in a place like this, the Sanzu River. Oh, look at her cradling it. Are you looking to get dragged down by some savage fish? Oh, he showed up at the perfect time. The river is so unnecessarily vast I lost track of where I'm going. Are you saying you want me to guide you? Parental guardian of ancient fish, Urumi Ushizaki. Alright, fine. But I'll choose the destination for you. Would you rather return to Gensokyo, or perhaps... would you like me to send you to the world beyond after all?
Stone sign, stone baby.
Hey, this is what you were talking about, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I actually had this conversation with somebody somewhere else today. But, you know, this question of, are they... drowning sign, drowning in the Sanzu. You don't want to drown in the Sanzu. My favorite Rakugo play is about a bunch of con artists from Osaka who have literally done everything else, so they decide to go to hell. When they're crossing the Sanzu, Oni sign Demon Siege. When they're crossing the Sanzu and they're in the boat, somebody says, don't lean too hard over the edge! Don't lean too hard over the edge! If you lean too far and fall in, you'll live.
Ugh, that's some power, alright. Sending me to the world beyond. I'm going even further beyond that for your information. To hell. You want to go to hell? What a frightening thing to say. I have no business with those who lack the courage to go there. Be gone. Good lord, Reimu, what is wrong with you? Egan, checkpoint of Oniwatari, Lonely Amaryllis?
Ah. Oniwatari, the Oni crossing. Like, across a body of water. Looks like Higambana in the background, the flower that's associated in Japanese culture with death.
Is that a spider lily, or am I getting them?
I think it was a spider lily, yeah.
Okay. Very satisfied with how well I'm doing. Practice sessions were not going as well. Heard about you from the Yama. She told me to test you with no mercy. And yes, there is good reason to not shoot, because not shooting while in Fury, I forgot the term for it, makes the meter drain slower. That's right, Zone actually implemented a reason to let go of the fire button. Unbelievable. Just as I'd expect from someone trying to get to Hell. You're quite skilled indeed. Are you perhaps trying to test me? Who are you, anyway? Clerical God of Hell's checkpoint. Kutaka Niwatari. I'm Kutaka. I watch over the border checkpoint of Hell. Oh, damn it. But I don't believe you're ready to go through Hell just yet. Ridiculous. What do you think I am? I can't deal with Hell? Say that after you take a good stab at me. How very assertive. I should expect as much from a potential Hell visitor. Cock! Look in her hair. Very well, I'll test you to your limits just as you wish.
Chicken God.
Chicken Oni, I believe. I was...
Water sign, trial of water sharing.
I was not paying attention at all. Got distracted.
Light sign, trial of land surveillance. Kentucky Fried Pain. Yes, that's about right.
I can't believe I lost the life by running into the boss between phases.
Oni sign, trial of Oni passage. Or Oni passage, or if you will, Oni Watari.
Well done. Losing 2 lives there hurts. Losing 2 lives there hurts bad. With such skill, you may even be able to compete with the Oni in Hell. My, how kind of you to tell me something I already knew. Oh right, that reminds me, I have one more important warning for you. According to the Yama, it'd be unwise to trust that beast spirit possessing you. Huh? What's that supposed to mean? I find myself wondering the same thing. I forget things almost right away, you see. You know, now that I take a good look at you, are you literally a bird brain? Of course I am. I'm a chicken deity, after all. Being bird-brained is a valuable trait of mine. And with that, please enjoy your time in Hell.
Once again, thinking of that Rakugo called Jigoku Bakke, 8 Views of Hell.
Karmic wind of myriad sufferings. No. Hell with that. You may have noticed that I've been getting extra beast spirits if I manage to run out the timer on my frenzy. It gets you 2 bonus ones, which makes getting the next one easier. Ah, a human of flesh and blood. Hell is hopelessly large, you know? Allow me to guide you. Better safe than sorry. Especially in my current state. Quadruple. Quintuple. You've done well to follow me. The wind is way too strong. Now that I finally found you, Beast Spirit, there's no way I'd let you escape. I came down here to Hell in search of a beast spirit who's planning to take over the surface world. Would that happen to be you? Oh, you came here to subjugate a beast spirit? Matriarch of the Kiketsu family. Yaichi Kicho? Alas, I'm afraid the beast spirit you need to defeat is not here in Hell. Huh? No way, you're just trying to trick me, aren't you? If you don't believe me, then fine. Feel free to wander forever in Hell's infinitely vast space. I guess I could hear you out just a little? That settles it then. If you can beat me, I'll tell you where your real enemy is. I'm not sure how to pronounce your last name. Any insight, Nyri?
Kicho.
Kicho? Okay.
Kicho. Kicho is a type of creature that is... Hang on, I'm a little bit... I'm coming down from 24 hours of ridiculous anxiety and stress spikes, so I'm a little bit not as sharp as I ought to be.
All good.
But, yeah, Kicho. Ji Diao in Chinese.
Oni sign, beast attacking from the rear.
So, sort of a little bit of a turtle, a little bit of a dragon, scales, horns, long tail, that sort of thing, as we saw.
Ooh.
The horns actually remind me of Bakkalian. Dragon sign, dragon crest bullets. Dragon sign, dragon crest bullets. Well, I guess, you know... Yes, actually, I think it's one of the 4... Because... Oh, 4 virtue beasts as distinct from the 4 lucky animals that guard the directions. Okay. Okay. Because I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure that's you may be thinking of Genbu, but that's the directional ones. That's Gakko, Genbu, Seiryu, and Suzaku, or Shijaku as we would say in the north. But this is different. This is the 4 virtue beasts.
Wonderful. With a human like you, everything should go just fine. I will not guide you to the enemy you must defeat. Who exactly are you? I am the leader of the Kiketsu family. Do you really need any further explanation? Huh? Now that I think about it, I feel like I never had any questions. Precisely. You're just the human who came to stop the Beast Spirit's invasion. I'm going to tell you where the enemy is. Your role is simply to defeat said enemy, nothing more. Alright, then spit it out already. I'm not quite sure why, but I want to get there in a hurry. The beast spirit is in the animal realm, located next door to Hell. There's a particularly prominent structure located in the center of the animal realm. That's the enemy's main base.
Oh boy.
So the enemy is in the center of the animal realm. You could have just told me from that from the get-go. Warrior of Goyoku, chosen by the Eagles. I trust that you're not just talk. Now go, destroy that demon-shaped enemy cursed in extremity.
Goyoku. Extreme desire. Ambition.
Animal realm.
Also, the realm of the animals, again, very much a part of the Buddhist underworld. Tiriagoni Metropolis.
Tiriagioni.
Tiriagioni. Ah, that's probably Sanskrit.
Beastly dystopia.
That would be, yeah. Yeah, the Japanese expression chikshou in its original usage refers to like animals, beasts, and that's this part of the underworld. You know, you hear sometimes.
Isn't that like localized sometimes as like damn it? Or like a curse? Yeah. But like it's literally the animal part of hell. So you're saying, you know, I hope that you fall into the animal realm. Also, those wolf icons look suspiciously Lynx-like. We can't see her at all due to our bullets, but she's got cool armor. It's okay though, we'll see her again in a moment. Damn. I swear I'm not trying to throw for content. I'm not trying to up the ante. I'm just having a time of it. Hey, that's a weird looking thing in the background.
Oh my god, it's a kofun! Why is a kofun in the animal part of Buddhist hell? Oh my god! What? Oh, I am flabbergasted and delighted. This is once again, Zun has outdone himself. That is folks, ladies and gentlemen, and those who know better. That is a kofun. A kofun is the ape garden where the humans go. A kofun is a type of keyhole-shaped tomb, usually often surrounded, but not always, by a moat. The kofun give their name to the eponymous Kofun period of ancient Japanese history. And this is the emergence of what eventually becomes the Yamato court, what we now call the imperial family. But they would bury their, like the claim is anyway, that they would bury their exalted dead in these tombs, which were like a mound where you would have burial goods, including stuff in the form that were like clay figures in the form of various things. So you would have saddles and guard figures and horses, just around these mounds, and some of them are out in the middle of nowhere, and some of them, yes, the little Tim, yeah, um, uh, some of them are in the middle of nowhere, and some of them is like a really famous one. I think is in the middle of Osaka. Um, so these are a thing in Japan. Some of them are even as far north as my hometown of Sendai. Um, but I was not expecting a kofun in hell. My God.
Right.
Okay, let's go on. Let's keep going. Let's see what this brings.
Prepare to get prepare to be flabbergasted a second time, I guess. So this is the animal realm. It feels just as suffocating as hell, but in a different sort of way. So, is that the structure in the center of the animal realm? A human? You better get back to the primate spirit garden post haste, or else you'll be captured by starving
boy.
beasts.
Pause. Okay. I see what they're doing here. Oh man. All right. So
Someone's protecting this place.
yeah, that is in fact a personification of one of the clay figures that often appear in Kofun called Haniwa. Now, again, not all of them are human shaped, but some of them are, and they'll be in like what would have been period armor and weaponry. And so this is one of those. So you're seeing this girl in a slightly stylized recreation, you see, of the Kofun period armor. So this is before the Asuka period, when some of that started to coalesce.
Would that be
So
the big
it's like
keyhole
you're
thing
getting
behind
you're getting the beginnings of the more pronounced continental influence.
you? Look at our little
You've got the
sad icon there in the top corner.
you've got the Haniwa like as a brooch.
Haniwa Lance Corporal Mayumi Joto
Jotogu.
Jotogu.
Okay, so they're punning Jotohei Lance Corporal on with the goo of Dogu, clay figure. So instead of Jotohei Superior Soldier, i.e. Lance Corporal, it's Haniwa Lance Corporal. And I wanted to also say, note the armor in the sort of the pattern of scales. That's the lamellar armor that came over from the continent very early on. And this is as I say, this is the beginning of the more pronounced continental influence, some from China, some from Korea. Um, and this is your periodic reminder that if you hear a Japanese nationalist tell you that their culture sprang fully formed from the dirt of the archipelago, and that the Koreans don't know what they're talking about, they are lying, because Korea is the source of so many of the most ancient things in Japanese culture, in religion, in metallurgy, in designs of armor, in court garb, in influences of Buddhism, in necessarily bound up political scores from like the ancient days of the Three Kingdoms in Korea. I mean, even the now emeritus emperor, the Akihito, once went on record and raised a lot of controversy by admitting, "Oh yes, we're related to the ancient royal family of Korea. It's no big deal." So, this should remind you. Seeing this kind of armor in this context should remind you of that influence. Also, our Ujigami-sama. So Zoe and I worship two deities who, a little bit after this, this is before that, but a little bit after this, there were these waves of immigration from the continent, including what in Japan is called the Hata clan, which was this Sino-Korean kin group who came to Japan as scribes and people who were good with working fancy metal and so on. And so they brought with them their gods, two of which became Hachiman Okami, the goddess of battle, and Oinari Okami, who is kami-sama of of things like agriculture, and it is a guardian of sex workers and commerce. Um, yes, scribes. We can talk about that off stream if you'd like later on. But yes, I went on a little bit of a tangent here, so I apologize. But wow, with the lamellar armor and everything.
It's always a delight to have you go find something in this game to just go incredibly off on, and so this makes me very happy to see. I'm sure that the viewers appreciate it too. After all, that's the point of this. If you want to watch someone who's professional play this, there's a million other people. You're here to learn about history. We don't play games skilled here. Okay, back to the dialogue. You're not a human spirit from the animal realm. You're a flesh and blood human. How did you manage to survive in such a dog-eat-dog place as this? For your information, I'm not from here. I came to the surface world to exterminate the beast spirits, and... something's taking over my mind. Is this the eagle spirits doing? I brought a live human down here just to destroy the lot of you. That aura I feel from you. Could you be an eagle spirit? To think that an eagle would be so humble as to rely on a living human. For this sole reason, we formed an alliance with the loathsome Kiketsu family. I shall liberate the human slave spirits from your accursed idols. Prepare yourself. It's the law of the animal realm that the strong eat the weak.
And this right here is why Kamigakari is a necessarily fraught prospect. Haniwa, Archer Haniwa, a type of play Haniwa figure.
And look at them.
Right?
And if these look familiar but you can't quite place it, Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing also, I think, in one of the Final Fantasies, right? The Cactuar was done in that style, I think.
Cactuar's got that kind of energy, yeah. Now that I think about it, you're right, totally.
Also, seeing an enemy with arrow-shaped Danmaku makes me very happy. Fencer Haniwa. The reason that makes me happy is because Hachima no Kami is a deity of archers. Like, traditionally.
Thank you for the resubscribe.
Oh, a Haniwa cat! Excellent! This is before the Yamato people began to adapt the shapes of their weapons, the bladed weapons. So you'll note that the Haniwa character has a straight-edged sword, rather than a curved sword. Lady Havoc, thank you for the generosity. Wow.
Alright.
Thank you.
What? Hang on, how?
Let's give you a moment.
10. Thank you very much. Thank you. Now let's wait for all the queued up
Hopefully this
notifications.
doesn't kill Moo, says GCU gray area. Oh goodness. 5 tier 1 subs from the wonderful Zoe. Thank you.
Oh yeah, like I'm hosed. Like this is not the final level, so I have no lives remaining and 2 spell cards. This is Thank you. Thank you truly. Thank you deeply. 3, 2.
Characters such as really Battle Cats references Masamune. I'm gonna look that up now.
Also, different looking Honeywalk here.
Yes, different variant. Date Masamune is an uber rare cat. I bet he is.
Hollow
Oh
inexhaustible
God, really?
fruits.
Hollow, yes, because they're clay.
Really don't know how to deal with the ones that charge at you. You might just actually have to straight focus them.
Oh, GCU gray area. Thank you so much. Thank you.
7.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
So strong.
So strong.
Daedalus, thank you. Your generosity makes these streams possible. We appreciate you greatly. Stun locking the slime, yes. She's
Also,
very adorable when she's flustered.
what the hell is a golden kappa train? What is this stupid Twitch crap? Anyway.
Yeah. Golden Kappa go for the golden Shirikodama, I guess. Look that one up, kids.
Oh, Lord. Oh, goodness gracious. So strong. So this is what living humans are like. What a fearsome strategy. Yes, I'll be sure to win at this rate. You have my thanks, human shrine maiden.
Yeah. Okay, there we go. All right, pause. Okay, so this gets into a little bit less the history side. There needs to be a golden Kokeshi. That's damn right. Let's make that happen. I'm gonna write it down now. Golden Kokeshi emote. So this gets a little bit more into the side of practice rather than of history. But what just happened to Reimu is called kamigakari. It is a term that can, it's usually translated as possession or writing, like spirit writing. And it is a necessarily intense and necessarily draining experience to be taken over like that. And this was in the very, very old days, the province of itinerant priestesses, many of whom were what we would now call trans women. And there's a lot of records on this, yes. And that role of the itinerant priestess who would be ridden, and in some cases in a really desperate situation where you really had to pacify land very, very decisively, would sometimes even be buried alive. But in their just mundane role, and in terms of everyday sort of their role as spiritual practitioners, they were often in a position where they would be ridden by spirits. And the I'm not going to go too deep into my own practice, but let's just say if anybody tells you that they got ridden and they did not get very exhausted, you should be very skeptical.
The tool spirit of that one museum that I always talk about, the Connections Museum, located up north in Seattle. It didn't go that far, but I did feel a somewhat draining and somewhat full paralyzing awe.
Yeah. That we all on the Clara podcast, we always say, stay curious, stay in awe of nature. And nature includes things like circuits and diodes as much as it includes things like cats, dogs, and trees. But I say all of this to sort of bring your attention to the fact that in as much as her outfit has become increasingly stylized, and in as much as her heisoku has become cartoonishly gigantic, Reimu is a... So remember, folks, when it comes to religion, always practice safe sex. Yakuza 0, baby!
Shoot it, beep, beep.
Shoot it, beep, beep. I'm going to perform my special shoot at beep beep.
Breaks it down.
Do the get God, this has been a hot minute. Um, yeah, cults and so-called new religions in Japan is a whole other topic, and I will save it for another day. But just to bring it back to Reimu here and being ridden, despite the fact that her outfit has become increasingly stylized and her heisoku, her gohei wand, has become cartoonishly gigantic, uh, do recall that she is in fact a Miko, and this is squarely part of what Miko are supposed to do. This is their job. But even for them, it would be a fundamentally draining experience to get ridden that hard.
Continuing on.
Yes, carrying on.
The beast spirit's taking over my mind? What on earth is going on? It's me, the eagle spirit. With the two of us combined, we can take back the animal realm. If we do that, the beast spirit's invasion of the surface will be sure to cease as well. It should sound pretty good to you too, no? This is the first emergency situation we've had since the Haniwa soldiers were created. I have to go alert everyone, quick! What am I even fighting against right now? Still, I can feel creepy cult aura up ahead, like nothing I've ever felt before. Let's go. We're off to stop that primate. We're off to that primate spirit garden place.
Creepy cult aura. Just when we were talking about Shurepipi.
This place has a different vibe than I was expecting.
God of idols. What, like top idols?
Okay, Moo. This is a simple shift left and right. Don't get distracted by... To think that living humans are such strong creatures, everything feels like a dream. I have one spell card available. Uh-oh. I don't like this. No lives, no bombs. Man, it's gross in here. Oh, evil spirit possessing me. Where is the enemy we are searching for? This is the interior of the garden. It's filled with man-made material now. What happened to the beautiful nature? A guest? How rare. And here I had almost shed a tear at the fact that nobody was left to fight against us. So there you are, eh? The god of destruction who defies the laws of beasts. Keiki Haniyasushin. Your reign ends here. The sculptor god crafted by utter isolation. Keiki Haniyasushin. God of destruction? Talk about rude. In this eat-or-be-eaten animal realm, there's nothing else who's created as much as I have. Hey, who are you exactly? Huh? You're acting like you knew me a second ago. Wait, are you a human? Yep, I'm human. I thought I'd go exterminate the beast spirits, but somehow I wound up here. Silence you! This is my chance to defeat the wicked god standing before us. For just this moment, I, the mighty eagle, shall be Reimu Hakure. I see. You possessed a human and brought them all the way here. But what exactly do you hope to accomplish? By tricking and dragging along some foolish human who doesn't know anything. Care to answer, Eagle Spirit? You're from the Goyoku Alliance, right? Famous for being ridiculously prideful, but lacking in capabilities in every other area.
Goyoku Alliance, ridiculously prideful. Yeah, it's in the name.
Got a translation?
Goyoku, well, prideful, extremely prideful, extremely desirous, wanting profoundly, yearning,
Oh, that's
intensely.
literally the
That's,
translation.
that's literally what it means.
Ah, yes, the Proud Clan.
Yes, the Proud Clan.
But if I defeat you, I can steal the animal realm's top seat. I heard that you're weak against living humans, too. Now have at thee. You there, human. Don't let the species spirit deceive you. Huh? I am the Idealidus, sculptor god who protects the human spirits from those foul beasts. There's no need for fellow humans to fight each other. Don't you agree? Fellow humans? Don't be fooled, Shrine Maiden. She's no ally of humans at all. She's a wicked god who drove the human spirits who summoned her to destruction. I feel like I've gotten into something really troublesome. But I can see a wicked aura coming from you. I'll beat you for starters and then think things over. Now that's the rainbow I know. Your intuition certainly isn't very sharp. I'm saying that I'll let you off the hook if you back out now, but you didn't notice at all. What a shame. What a crying shame. Human, this is bad. We let her stall for too long. She's about to unleash her sculpting arts. Every last one of us beast spirits will be defeated by them. We must retreat for now. Run! You built up this whole plan and now you flee in the face of the enemy? Truly the height of idiocy. Don't think for a second that I'll let you escape after you violate my sacred territory to this extent. I'll destroy your body of flesh and build you anew from soil and water. You too shall be an idol without a single flaw, told for ages and ages to come.
Note that she's wearing Magatama.
She is.
Yeah.
I am too.
As am I. Two of them, actually.
Well, she's wearing 3, so that makes her cooler than us.
That's true. That's true.
Anything else, sir?
Well, I mean, I imagine we're gonna get a little bit more of that knowing how these games tend to go, but Magatama are a very important ritual implement in Shinto, also just generally one of the symbols of Shinto. They were they were one of the tools of those itinerant priestesses I was mentioning earlier. And you can use it for divination, you can use it to as a temporary vessel for a spirit you're working with. There's all sorts of things you can do with it, and there's conflicting views over what it's supposed to represent. Most often you hear people say that it's the sort of the abstract shape of a spirit, a disembodied spirit, but in all likelihood it was a bear claw that was first used for this. And you will find them in Kofun tombs in very large stone or clay form. I have one that I made out of Sculpey, and everybody thinks it's jade. But that was my way of affirming my religion and my gender before I was able to be out in either. Because most people where I lived didn't know what that meant. They just thought it was an interesting necklace. But for me, it was like I'm wearing this thing that transfeminine people in Japan thousands of years ago who were priestesses of my faith wore. So, and so I have a different Magatama more recently acquired that is from my wonderful partner. Which I wear in a different place, and I like to keep close and tucked away where I can feel it. It's important to me for very personal reasons. But yeah, there's all sorts of history surrounding Magatama. If you look closely at depictions of the most famous deities in the Shinto pantheon, they will often be wearing Magatama, but not just one. They'll have like a garland of a whole bunch of them, right? And it's this recurring thing. And as a matter of fact, one of the 3 sacred treasures, the the regalia, the imperial regalia of the Yamato court to this day is the Magatama of Yasakani, which is, I think, the only one that's kept in what used to be Edo Castle, but is now the Imperial Palace. The other two are actually, you know what? No, I think maybe the mirror is also there, but the sword is at Atsuta Shrine in Nagoya. But yes, that's sort of the rundown of Magatama.
In conclusion, just like the tea whisk, this is a Magatama. Its purpose is a mystery. Please drop a like.
Square shape sculpting art.
Please drop a like. Tragic. There's the life. Double tragic. Honestly, I'm kind of feeling it. I might make a second attempt at this. If that's fine to do.
Circular shape, perfect circle, sculpting art. Line-shaped sculpting art. Chat, what would your spell card be?
Oh. Good question.
Just seeing the skyline like that, it's like, great, hell, of course hell looks like Osaka. Haniwa, horse and rider idol sculpting art.
So many of these patterns I have no idea how to deal with. Okay, staying near the bottom, I guess, is good for that, until that happens. Okay, so stay near the bottom and then dash upward in order to dodge the yellow. No, there's no chance to dash upward.
E-shaped sculpting art. Oh, good heavens. Now we're in trouble.
You've done well to survive this long, human. Our reinforcements will arrive in seconds. We are the strong ones now. Land the finishing blow on this lonesome, wicked god.
Geometric creature.
Particularly brutal pattern, but lots of spirits floating around for you to instantly get another barrier up.
Idola Diabolus.
Final pattern.
The Eagles have come. Well, I mean, you know, it is football season. As Eagles, they are also, you might say, flyers, which means that, look out, we may be graced by the presence of the broad street Namahage Gritty.
Pretty as a Namahage is. Wow. Does Gritty scare the children into discipline, though? Like, I've seen videos of Gritty antics. I would say yes. Like
Yeah,
actually.
Yeah, and the way that Gritty has become a mascot of of left and progressive, movements, and anti-fascist stuff. Yeah, I would say so.
I'm Kicho.
And like the Namahage, you can make them go away by making offerings of alcohol.
That would probably work on Gritty, yeah. I'm Kicho, the boss of the Kiketsu family. We were wrong to have placed our hopes in you. Damn! It seemed the evil god's power just barely managed to beat you. It's inconvenient for us to let you live any longer. It's unfortunate, but... Wait a minute. This time I was just a little under the weather, that's all. Let me go one more time. Understood. However, there are plenty of humans that can take your place. We won't allow any more failures. You were just barely forced to run away from the evil god. You absolutely can't lose next time. Bad ending number 1. Aim for a no continue clear. Ah. Well, that means it's time to look up the Touhou wiki. Apologies I couldn't win this one, but gave it the old Touhou try. That's Reimu Eagle. Okay, let's turn the game volume off for a moment. That way I can read this out without the menu music. Touhou Eagle ending. The Hakurei Shrine, a shrine on the outskirts of Gensokyo. Today, a lot of animal spirits are gathered there. Reimu, I get it. This wasn't such a big deal, so you don't need to thank me. Eagle Spirit. We preserved our honor thanks to you, so if there's any way we can repay you, there's nothing we can't help with. Reimu, even if you say so, I just can't think of anything. Oh, I know, how about this? Ibarakasen. What's going on here? The shrine's full of animal spirits. Let me figure out who that is. Is that... Ah! Kasen Ibaraki is a character from Antimony of Common Flowers, who is a hermit that is not present in any of the primary bullet games. So, this is a character that y'all who are watching alongside us would not actually know. Sorry about that. Let's see. Ibarake-san, what's going on here? The shrine's full of animal spirits. Reimu, yeah, about that. Some stuff happened, and I kind of ended up working with that eagle spirit, and they were telling me they just had to thank me. Ibaraka-san. So this is them returning the favor? Reimu, they're sightseeing. And paying. It's pretty profitable. The high-handed eagle spirits were surprisingly dutiful. Because of their pride, they must hate owing people favors. The human realm became a popular tourist destination for animal spirits, and purses swelled. So even though she still didn't understand a lot of what happened, Reimu was glad she went to the animal realm. Ending number 3, all's well that ends well. Congratulations, no continue clear. So, ultimately, the eagle spirits were like, thank you, we totally owe you, and that's not good. Here, we're gonna just, like, donate a bunch of money to your shrine, and we're gonna recommend your place to everyone. And Reimu was just like, alright, sure. She is one of the great sages responsible for Gensokyo's creation. Yep, that is, alas, a character I know basically nothing about. Okay. As per usual, we'll now be moving on to the extra stage. And because my exhaustion and my kind of overloading on some stuff has reached some of its peak, I have not actually tried this at all yet.
Zoe wants to know, what's your spell card?
Oh god, I was kind of thinking about that while playing, but I didn't...
Also, is there a chat points thing where we can head pat you? Like in the pre-roll visuals?
Wah. There should be.
Because I'm thinking of how Goral Stream Team has a head pat option.
Hey, folks who know me on Discord should DM me like various redeems that they want to see. I would love to improve the stream.
Sounds good.
I would love to improve the stream with them.
That's true. Yes, I made one of them.
Impossible Forms, Tidal Flood. Or Impossible Forms, Purple Tempest. That's my spell
Eagle
card.
Spirits. Impossible Forms, Purple Tempest.
Viridian Tempest. Is Viridian purple?
Tempest.
Is that?
No, isn't Viridian green?
Oh. Violet Tempest. Anyway.
Violet. Impossible Forms, Violet.
Something between like like the animal bullets from Mamizo Butetsuiwa for attacks, and shapeshifting, and a drowning flood. Cryptid level. Stop them before they invade the human realm. Wolf. So, this is a blind attempt. Stage EX Hell, stormy area bordering animal realm. Karmic wind of a bloody frenzy, beastly storm. Damn it, I keep accidentally canceling. Ugh. So as you can see, the Persuasion Needle is a lot wilder looking. And that's what Wolf Form's about. Specifically boosting the damage of your focus shot. The area up ahead is occupied by the strongest beast spirit. Right now we're carrying out coastal operations in order to... Please return back now. Wow, that dialogue is extremely fast.
Bloody battle, watershed of blood. I should note for the chat's sake that in order to keep myself on task, what I've been doing, Bloody Battle, Hell Realm Sideline. What I've been doing during these streams is turning down the volume on the Bloody Battle All Spirit Oniwatari. Turning down the volume on the game, and turning up the volume on my local copy of the repertoire of Gagaku music, which is associated with Shinto shrines. So it's been giving it a very different feel on my end. I just wanted to say that for the record. I mean, chickens are very vicious, Conley.
Oh yeah.
Having
broody chicken, don't mess with them.
Having encountered my share, I'm remembering a time in the late '90s once when my family visited Kingston, New York, and we took a wrong turn, wound up in a field, and had to immediately reverse because there was a wall of chickens. Just
Heard you talking crap.
Like you do. Rudy Duck's also like the yeah, chickens are very hardcore. Yeah, it was an absurd number of chickens.
So the true invaders of the animal realm showed up. Since I gave them this opportunity to return to the surface, I guess I'll have to take them down too. I can't stop laughing. Thanks to that bastard Kicho defeating Keiki, we can finally act freely. Excellent work. I see pretending to be used by Kicho paid off, Wolf Spirit. Yes, you overpraised me, Lady Kurokoma.
Is this a Tengu?
We'll see in a moment, I think. Huh? Who on earth are you? This human doesn't know me, huh? How rude of me. I am Saki Kurokoma, matriarch of the Kaiga family. Kaiga family? This person here is my boss. The Kaiga family is an organization of beast spirits who pride ourselves on our strong arms, swift legs, and infinite courage. We're the strongest group in the animal realm, you know. She's your boss, but then our brief deal with Kicho in order to defeat Keiki is now over. Thanks to you defeating Keiki, the animal realm has returned to being a competitive society. And thus the strongest, fastest army, the Kaiga family, will rule all. Soon the animal realm shall come under our possession. Perhaps not just the animal realm, but hell and the human realm too? My dreams are broadening. You think it will be that easy? Roping me into the animal realm's conflict was a mistake. I'll beat you right here and smack you straight back to the animal realm. Heh. That sounds nice. Prince Shotoku's Pegasus, Dark Pegasus. Unlike that foul Kicho, I happen to like fighting. You got that, Wolf Spirit? Do all you can to help this human and come at me. Won't be fun if she's not as strong as when she defeated Keiki. Now show this jet black Pegasus the power of the human that defeated the wicked god.
Okay, so
Prince Shotoku's black flying horse.
We have Prince Shotoku's horse, and I think you were saying off stream earlier that this is specifically a Kai horse. Agile skill, throwing shot.
What the?
Kai being a province from that is now Yamanashi Prefecture, famous as the home of Takeda Shingen. But they had this local breed of horses that is sadly now long extinct. Although there's apparently some efforts to revive it through selective breeding. Be that as it may, this is from an era, if we're talking about Prince Shotoku especially, you know, that Prince Shotoku through the Heian era, Agile Scale Lightning Nei. This is an era where horses... My sound cut out because somebody was DMing me with something rather urgent. My apologies. So this is an era where horses are still this relatively new thing in the islands, and you know, they become very rapidly associated with the gods. And this is where you get the idea that a shrine would have a horse or horses that were specifically the horses that were dedicated to the god of the shrine. But you also have interesting legends, like, the story of Prince Shotoku's mount, or you get the stories of Sakanoue no Tamuramaro, the famous general who conquered the north, who allegedly made 1,000 carved wooden horses become real horses in his campaigns. So this is an era that gives birth to quite a few tales like this, and so horses remain very important. And this is also where we get Emma, because not everybody's going to be able to afford dedicating a horse to the shrine, but eventually there came to be a consensus of, well, if it's a picture of a horse, that's fine. It's the sentiment that counts. So that became Emma, picture horse.
Hey, horse photo.
Not only is this the syncretism episode, but apparently it's an episode of Uma Musume. Oh yes, Touhou. Yeah. Well, and when this is one of the reasons that and Zoe's gonna love this. This is one of the reasons that the North was targeted for conquest by the Yamato state, because it was a place where in the very early 8th century, somebody discovered gold, and suddenly the Yamato court went, all the yen signs, but just like, koku signs. Yes, we're going to Ryo. We're going to conquer. We're going to conquer this region so we can have the gold, and also the iron sand, and other things. But semi-weekly Touhou games on the counter for the number of days Mu hasn't played a bullet hell.
I mean, if a game is literally as it says on a tin, a bullet hell, it does not count for that. It's a Mu accidentally plays a bullet hell counter. Of when a game suddenly has a bullet hell segment that I kind of forgot existed. And despite the artwork, apparently this character does not in fact have one arm.
Huh.
They do have their other arm, but it's hidden behind them in this artwork in particular. Kind of unfortunate. I thought that was like a cool character detail.
So about the girl from Touhou with a horse. The other reason that the Yamato court became very, very interested in conquering the north was because it was a land that had lots and lots of horses. The emergence of the curved, the archetypal curved Japanese blade was as a result of this conquest, because the Yamato soldiers had to face the Amishi people who were on horseback, and then that region became and remained a very important horse breeding region. So Iwate, where Touhou is one of them. Aomori, likewise. Shingo Aomori, infamous / famous for being the home of Tohoku Jesus Aomori garlic farmer, was one of the places where the Nambu, House Nambu of Morioka Domain had one of its horse, I think the term is horse stud, like one of its horse breeding operations. Yeah, the horse slayer place, the Zambato, yeah. But yeah, that's the. This is part of what drove the conquest of the North was horses, breeding of horses, acquisition of horses, lands for horses. There were a number of famous breeds of horse that were once common in the North. Now, sadly, no longer. Agile, skilled, dense crowd. And one last thing to note, because this is something that video games often get very, very wrong. Japanese horses, like the indigenous breeds of horse, are short. So if you've got a game where you've got a samurai riding on something the size of a Clydesdale or something, or an Arabian, no. The people were short and the horses were short. Agile skill, beast, epidemicity. It isn't until the 1850s, 60s that some of the very, very large Western breeds of horse arrived in Japan, and they were unusual enough in the early days that they would turn heads wherever they went. The Lord of Kuwana domain famously received an Arabian horse from the Dutch ambassador. Agile skill, triangle chase.
I was not ready for that.
So, hobbits on ponies are samurai. Basically. So the daimyo of Kuwana in the 1860s had this Arabian horse, and it was bigger than indigenous horses, to the point where he would ride it along the Sanjo, or the Jakamo riverbank around Sanjo. And, I need you to picture the equivalent of taking your Maserati out and making a lot of noise.
Ah. Rolling coal. Oh boy, I don't know how to deal with this pattern at all. That's one of those dazzle patterns that just makes my eyes spin.
Agile skill, muscle explosion.
That sounds dangerous.
Yes it does. Follow me unafraid.
Oh, he's throwing super huge bullets. I was like, what even hit me that one time?
Diablo, just to further underline that, Japanese people at the time were in the range of, 5 foot. Like, I say at the time. So, like, if you're thinking of, like, the days of Oda Nobunaga and Date Masamune, 5 foot, 5'1", 4'11", thereabouts. Onishe toi poloi!
What's that word mean?
Hoi polloi is a Greek term that has entered the English lexicon, and it means the riffraff, the common people.
Ah.
It is not in fact a Japanese term.
I can see what this is. Survival pattern.
For his time, Date Masamune was a little bit above
Wait,
average. He was like 5'4".
This is not a survival pattern.
But yeah, ultimately they're all riding these very short horses, so it's not the sort of the rider on the very tall, majestic, thing.
Final pattern.
Deeds of the Devilish Beasts.
I can't believe I'm on the final pattern. That's ridiculous.
My favorite factoid about height in Japanese history is that Tokugawa Ieyasu's general Honda Tadakatsu, who was his right-hand man for a very long time, is a man who lived and fought in the 1580s and 90s, and he was 6 feet tall in an era where most Japanese people were barely 5 feet tall. And so there's an anime, I think it was Sengoku Basara, where he's depicted as a Gundam.
Also, This is going to be really pedantic, but just bear with me here. That phrase you used, factoid, that does not mean fact. Factoid has the oid suffix on it, and that means looks like but isn't. So like asteroid is a word that means looks like a star but isn't.
I remember this, yes.
Okay.
Yes, I remember.
Fun fact for our viewers as well. Anyway, if that's true, then yeah.
No, we know it's true. He was 6 feet tall. Absurdly enormous for a Japanese person at his time.
That's a cool fact.
Yeah. Just a giant of a man. His preferred weapon was the spear. So, kind of makes sense. The William Wallace effect, yes.
Coastal operations in order to prevent her from attacking the surface. Please turn back now.
Bloody battle, watershed. We're doing the same one. Yeah, we,
I got really close, so I'm kind of tempted to see if I can manage it.
We don't know the heights of all of these notable figures of the Sengoku, but for some of them where the remains survived long enough for a forensic analysis, we do know. So, and then for other people, we have like the precise size of their hands, because there was this custom in some places of doing a handprint when you were making a pledge to a shrine or something. So we have Tokugawa Ieyasu's handprint at Nikko Toshogu. Date Masamune we know an incredible amount about because of the state in which his remains survived, such that we were able to know down to the specifics of how toned he was, what his blood type was, and his height, and a couple of other things. So if you ever find a forensic reconstruction of his of how he would have looked in his like 40s, 50s, that is because a lot of
chances are that's well researched and evidence-based.
That's incredibly well researched and evidence-based. In fact, I read the book that came out of that forensic study.
Interesting.
It's way off topic here, but so the reason this all happened is because the United States Air Force flattened Central Sendai in 1945. And because it flattened Central Sendai in 1945, Masamune's mausoleum was incinerated. And a couple decades later, when the economy had caught up, the city decided that it was going to lead the reconstruction of his mausoleum. And in the process, they had to dig up the stone room, the subterranean room where his sarcophagus was. And in the process of doing that, they removed his remains and did a full study and very detailed analysis. They cataloged his grave goods. This is how we know, for instance, the type of armor that he was buried with, the fact that he was buried with his stationary kit, the fact that he was buried with his monocle. He had a monocle. But the specifics of what he would have looked like and what kind of blood type he had and all of that is all because of meticulous photographing and analysis by forensic archaeologists in the 1970s.
Thanks, archaeologists.
Yes, thanks, archaeologists. You perform a useful task. I'm just a historian. I sort of come in from behind and ask where the books are. If you put a different way, I'm a historian. I'm like a cross between an anthropologist and a necromancer. Okay, so the study, it's been long enough that I can't remember the title. I can remember what the book looked like. So I would need a little bit to actually be able to hunt that down. But I remember reading this, and it was actually a joint thing, the version of it that I read anyway. That was because there was a similar reconstruction project that happened in Tokyo, because the mausoleum and the collective mausoleums and temple where a bunch of the shoguns were buried was also destroyed in World War II and was being rebuilt. So over there as well, they did a full forensic and archaeological study. So we have all kinds of pictures and data about the Tokugawa shoguns, most of them, not all. Ieyasu, for instance, we don't, because he was cremated. Was Honda Tadakatsu the one who died standing up? No, you're probably thinking of Musashibo Benkei in the Heian era, who, the story goes, was a giant of a man. Died standing up in the doorway to buy time for his overlord Minamoto no Yoshitsune to either end his life by his own hand or, according to some stories, escape. And there is a conspiracy theory, mind you, it is a conspiracy theory that doesn't really have any substance, that Yoshitsune escaped to the continent and became Genghis Khan, which makes the Mongol invasions of Japan, by extension, an act of intergenerational revenge. Agile skill, Black Pegasus Meteor Shot. I am now picturing Minamoto Yoshitsune and his retainers dancing that Moscow, Moscow song by the East German Genghis Khan group. Hey, Moscow, Moscow.
Us old people in our vintage internet meme.
Yes!
I missed that bullet entirely again. I 100% did not see that giant red bullet.
Yes, us old people and our archaic internet memes. I can have cheeseburger, please?
Monorail cat.
Monorail cat! Ceiling cat.
Fail. I like to put the word fail over random images. Because the image itself isn't funny, you see. We need to make it funny by adding the word fail to it.
Well, I mean, this is like the more recent thing of.
Okay, this was a survival pattern, kind of.
You know, text at the top, and then just writing bottom text.
So for the first two phases. For the first two phases, it's a survival pattern, but as soon as you get to here, and yeah, haha, bottom text.
I thought that was emoji and key smashing.
That's subtext. Get it together. Final pattern. I have life and a spell card.
Those were memes. I believe those were memes before I was active on the internet. That is very likely, Kippers. That is very likely. I, for one, have been on Al Gore's internet since the late 90s. And the fact that I'm even calling it Al Gore's internet dates me as well.
Your power of swiftness, bravery, and knowledge in facing down Danmaku, all in perfect balance. I'm moved. Is that so? I'm completely worn out. I wonder, would you consider joining the Kaiga family? I'm busy with ruling the animal realm, you see. So I'll let you rule over the human realm as the human realm division of the Kaiga family. What? That's ridiculous. You think I'd agree to that? Huh? How cruel of you to refuse, to not rule over the human realm even though you're so strong. So then why'd you show me your strength? Wait, is everyone in the Kaiga family an idiot? Yeah, please excuse us. It's, as you've seen, we are physically strong, but our intellect is a bit... Whatever, then. Guess I'll have to cut open a path myself. I'll be calling on you when I visit the human realm next time, okay? Huh? What for? A duel, of course. I want to see your power with without the wolf spirit. If I win, I'll have you reconsider my position. Preposition. Ugh, I've had enough of this. Yo, an achievement. That is... What's the word for this? Not liberating, not, just like, oh, there we go. Validating? No. Vindicating. That was really vindicating. To not beat the main campaign, but then to beat the extra stage blind on third try is... Hell yeah. In any case, though, any other additional thoughts? Other topics you want to address for this game?
I continue to be amazed and delighted at how this series works in elements of history and particularly religious history and practice that just blindside and delight me. I really, you know, the Kofun in particular this time, I think, just really got me. The Kofun and the Haniwa.
I love those little fellas. But yes, gyroids are directly inspired by those, and you dig them up because they're an archaeological discovery and rather old in that game. And, let's see. I linked a game by KV House, whose work I probably want to show off at some point. Another Japanese indie dev that has a very eclectic set of very experimental games that I think are fascinating. And, of which most of his games are translated, if not all. But it's KV House. Thank you always for your generosity, and I will be supporting Nyri as well because it is only through her expertise that these shows are possible. And, goodness, I guess I need to figure out what the Wednesday game's gonna be. You know, I'm saying this now, as I'm... at the time, I'm obligated to announce what the Wednesday game is. Look, I've been kind of going through it a little bit.
I mean, we can play it by ear.
Yep. We'll figure it out.
Yeah. But wow, thank you. I really appreciate also that this is really putting me through my paces. I do not know ancient Japanese history as well as I know just starting from Heian. And this is going further back than that, so...
Though you can see
it's a
Yomu's
nice
abilities.
challenge, too.
So yeah, Yomu has the classic, don't shoot it all when focusing, but let go of focus in order to slash. Which is a game mechanic that I just cannot get used to.
Huh.
It's fancy, for sure, but good lord. Think about how that works on against a boss where you're supposed to be in focus mode all the time in order to dodge between stuff. Exiting focus for a quarter second, then re-entering it, making sure you're not pressing any movement buttons, that kind of thing. Blech. Anywho, let's see who we should raid over to, shall we?
Mm-hmm.
Ampuko doesn't seem to be live, but I will say personally, Ampuko is going through a bit of a tight spot. They were a bit behind on their rent, and then their power company, after failing to respond to him for a long time, gave him the bill for the entire year's worth of power to be paid at once as opposed to monthly, and he has no idea why that they wouldn't respond to him before. So, I'll do a quick shout out to Ompuko just for the sake of it.
Yes, we get by supporting each other in these times.
Yep. And then, in addition, like, Ompuko is the person I am commissioning for my intro, so them being happy is good for me as well, but, like, you know, I really like that fella's work. In any case, we've got the March Grand Sumo tournament is currently going in Osaka, and Midnight Sumo is doing live commentary.
Oh, lovely! Lovely.
So, we'll go and raid on over there. That is a English-speaking sumo restream broadcast with commentary from a very dedicated commentary Lucky Cat, and it is a very, very first-time watcher-friendly stream where they actively encourage questions and they have automatic responders for all the basic questions, like who's that guy in the middle that's singing and what's he saying? And so someone will just say, type in exclamation mark and then the name of that guy, and that person is a blank, and what they're singing is actually the names of the two people who are about to compete, and the direction he's facing indicates which one is which person. And what's those envelopes that they hand out at the end? And all sorts of questions like that are all answered and treated with a kindness toward people who are near to it, which I think is an incredibly lovely approach. But with all that, let's send y'all over there. Thanks for tuning in, everyone, and goodness gracious, thank you for your kindness and support, as always. This slime loves you.
Mm-hmm.